So I was only 4. My father was being interviewed on a news program. And I sat in front of the television and I waited and I waited and I watched and I listened. And then it ended. And I turned to my mother, truly forlorn, and asked, "When is Daddy going to dance?"
My father helped found Human Rights First. He did that because he felt it would be a great way to promote human rights in the world, way farther than one individual lawyer.
One of his key principles was that the law should protect all people regardless of race, creed, or religion, and that it shouldn't be influenced by any of those things.
Under my dad's leadership, Human Rights First developed what is now a nationally recognized program in pro bono legal work, fighting for human rights throughout the world.
Pro bono work was at the core of the values that he cared about.
The pro bono program has had an almost unimaginable impact on the lives of thousands of individuals and families.
It not only is fighting for the rights of people who desperately need that representation, but it's also training young lawyers and helping them see the value of what they can do in the courtroom, beyond the courtroom, and beyond whatever their day-to-day legal practice may be.
The greatest legacy he could have hoped for would be successive generations of passionate lawyers defending rights. Human Rights First embodies that.
I am thrilled to pass on my congratulations to this year's 3 winners, the 3 law firms that have extended themselves above and beyond and continue to carry the torch of the tradition of pro bono work.
Judge Frankel displayed an unwavering commitment to human rights, and that has been reflected in the work that Covington and Covington attorneys have done with Human Rights First in terms of advocating on behalf of asylum seekers, both individually and in the aggregate impact litigation matters.
I think all of us as lawyers at the Cravath firm and generally feel that it's very important to be able to help people who are facing persecution in their home countries obtain asylum here. In particular, when having a lawyer makes such a big difference in whether somebody's able to get asylum or not.
Judge Frankel believed that every person working in the law has the capacity to and should give back to their communities, and that is certainly the Williams and Connolly ethos.
Asylum work is some of the most rewarding pro bono work that the lawyers at our firm do. It really provides an opportunity to change somebody's life.
Shortly after I joined the Los Angeles office of Covington, I took on my first Los Angeles case with Human Rights First. It was a woman about my age from Eritrea who was fleeing political persecution, but when you drill down to it, it was really sadly and tragically a lot of sexual abuse. The defining moment of my Human Rights First experience has been standing there and bearing witness to this woman getting her freedom, both of us realizing it together, that her life had been changed.
Seeing someone know that they have safety here in the United States, that they're starting a new life for themselves, that is bar none the best part of my job. We had one asylum client who came to our office with wedding invitations, and I'll never forget, he had one for each of the employees and attorneys on his case. And he said, "You must come to my wedding. You must come to my wedding." And he said, "I would not have the life I have today if it weren't for you and for you getting us asylum in the United States."
For all of us as lawyers, these are fundamental American values about helping people who are facing persecution in their home countries and being able to represent them to get asylum when they might not otherwise if they didn't have a lawyer. And so we're honored to be part of this work with Human Rights First and part of fulfilling Judge Frankel's legacy.
To this year's Frankel Award winners, thank you. Congratulations. The work you're doing is important beyond, I think, what you can even imagine. Of course, you're making a world of difference in the lives of your individual clients, the asylum seekers and the refugees you represent. But you're making a difference on a much larger scale as well. The governments of the countries, the people you represent, are watching. The government of this country is watching. The world is watching. What you do matters deeply. Thank you.